Hello and welcome to another month of slow progress. I'm still working on the cockpit area and I'm so pleased with it. I'm happy to show it off to you again and show you what I've done. These pillars here I've made line up with the front of the cockpit. These pillars here took out as far out as I could, so I've got maximum room inside. Made sure I'm connecting to the most solid part of the Dodger roof up there, and making sure that the pillars line up nicely with each other, nice and parallel. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I think it's quite aesthetically pleasing as well as being very functional. The only original bits that are left from the cabin that was here is this bit here, which is actually a nice slope for sitting, so I've continued that with the same slope here, and I've made the seats nice and big so a guy can sit in here with full support all the way along, good thigh support, good man-sized seats. I always like to do a dummy run first before I do any gluing, make sure everything fits right. We got more of my favourite curvy bits going in, glued in, nice, glued in, nice. Before I do any more work on the back of the cockpit for the shelving and what have you, I need to know exactly where the tiller goes, so I have to complete the rudder first. These are 6 pieces I've cut out. They will make up the cheeks. I've got to glue them all together, the cheeks that part of the rudder nestles in. Fiberglass on the leading edge, some reinforcing there where it'll tap against the casing, and fiberglass down here, and I'll put another layer as well, particularly this area here where it's going to be hitting the bottom from time to time. Lots of layers of fiberglass and epoxy to protect the corners on the bottom. Cutting down the old tiller, which was quite huge and heavy. Now it's a lot less monstrous, and nice laminated wood too. Luckily I've got enough mahogany left over to be able to do the framing, which will hold the cheeks together. I know it looks a little bit rugged. It looks really rough stuff, but in actual fact it's quite good wood. I've made a couple of little steps which I'm about to screw and glue onto the bottom of the rudder casings. This is going to make it a lot easier to get onto the boat from the back of it. The backbone of the rudder system is now being glued in. A couple more pieces to bring it up to the right thickness. Well, it's that time of the year. Termites are taken to wing, looking for new homes. Hope they don't go in my boat. It's really quite beautiful here in so many ways, but in actual fact it's not necessarily safe, and it's not just the branches from the trees falling down, though they are a danger. One nearly wiped out Dave's Pajero, one big chunk of tree went through my roof at one stage, and coconuts. When coconuts fall, if they land on your head, then you're dead, and it actually happens. We've got dengue fever mosquitoes, and you can't help but be bitten from time to time. We've got dogs with rabies, far too many dogs here. We've got box jellyfish. Even when the water's just knee deep like it is there, you can get stung. And I've been stung twice, and I can tell you it's not nice. Also, of course, when you're working on a boat, you're using dangerous chemicals with epoxy and primers. This catalyst primer is really potent stuff, and of course the epoxy reducer is dangerous stuff as well. You don't want to get too much of this stuff on your skin or you're going to be covered in rashes. But the real dangerous thing is this one, the angle grinder, and you can't help but use it a lot on a boat. Yes, I know, I've taken the handle out and I've taken the guard off. I'm currently using this kind of grinder, which is good for paint and epoxy and fiberglass and wood. And I've not had any problems with it. But when it comes to cutting metal, I will never ever use a blade as thin as this again, because they disintegrate. Here's one, here's another one, and when pieces of this come flying off at 100 miles an hour and a bit of your body gets in the way, well, you're in real serious trouble. So whenever I grind metal now, or cut metal, I use the guard. I use a thicker one than that for cutting. This one seems to be fine, and a fatter one for grinding. But yes, when I'm cutting metal now, always put the guard on and always wear this. What a beauty. Of course, there's always typhoons to worry about as well, but in the times I've spent in the Philippines, the strongest winds I've seen have been at 75 knots. That's about 86 miles an hour, or 140 kilometres an hour. This is a really messy, long-winded job cutting up this stainless. Really super thick stuff, and really heavy as well. Some more bits cut out and ready to go on the boat. Joining my long list of defective Ryobi tools, this one is intermittent, so a bit of a clean out and WD-40 and see how we go. The damn thing. I got it going again once. It seems like if you leave it sit around for a few hours, it'll turn on once, turn it off, and you can't get it back going again. Seems like an electronic thing inside. Too much for the repairers around here. Yes, I am fiberglassing straight over paint, but the scraps of fiberglass I had lent themselves to it, so why not? Every little bit helps. This is all super strong, very big pieces of timber there, and right inside there as well. The screws go right through to the end of that. A quick go over with the finishing sander to take off all the loose stuff, a second coat of epoxy, and it's ready to paint. This is pretty much how the rudder system comes together. This will have some tangs welded to it, and then 1/2-inch bolts, 8 bolts in there. That'll connect it to the boat. And inside it looks something like that. It'll be good. Cleaned up the stainless, which is now ready for drilling and welding. That holds on the rudder. Doing some exploratory surgery here, and straight away I've got water coming out. Or may not have fixed the problem, time will tell. And that is it for this month. Thanks for watching.